W-EMU, where we are reading the Reddit. I am Lainey, and tonight's top story comes to us from a place no one wants to imagine, the unwashed heart of a failed relationship. From our Am I the Asshole? We bring you a cautionary tale of love, loss, and sanitation. A woman issues her boyfriend an ultimatum, wipe or walk. And folks, he walked with 2 deodorants, 1 frozen burrito, and 0 dignity. I can't make this stuff up, guys. Now, I know what you're thinking. Surely this is metaphorical. Sadly, no. This man, a grown adult, believed wiping his own behind was an optional lifestyle choice. She gave him time. She gave him grace. And in return, he gave her furniture of mushroom stamping that no one wants to see. Ooh. She tried to reason with him. She explained it wasn't about changing who he was. It was about not sitting in filth like a raccoon with self-esteem issues. He told her he wouldn't fold for toilet paper. Sir, are you really arguing against big paper in favor of soiled panties? My goodness. All right. Now, the only reporter brave enough to cover this stink stain saga is on location, and that would be Baz. Baz is outside our Am I the Asshole? Baz!
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. Ugh. I'm here outside Am I the Asshole, where the scent of denial hangs thick in the air and the community has issued a collective gag reflex. The simple fact that this post is not even the 20th time I have seen this exact situation on Reddit, well, to be frank, it kind of explains why the planet is currently hurtling toward a complete dystopian shit show at record-breaking speeds. Redditor RileyMoon99T commented, "This man really took a frozen burrito and 2 deodorants like he was about to survive the wilderness." Well, folks, this one had us rolling for quite some time in the studio. User Dandelion actually wins the award here for his cautious optimism. I can't decide if this is too stupid to be real or too stupid to be made up. And frankly, Lainey, I agree. I've heard urban legends that make more sense than this man's logic. But at the same time, this burnout marks on Skid Row Tidy Whitey's post hits the Reddit often multiple times in a single day. And I can't believe they made me bring Sebastian Bach into this shit. So, Lainey, the reality for this situation is a persistent brown streak on the underwear of a man is a massive red flag. Let's pass it back to you, Lainey.
Oh, a tragic tale of one woman's journey from poopy couches to a fresh start with a Febreze-scented future. We wish her many sanitized tomorrows. And to the ex-boyfriend, may you one day learn the joys of Charmin and the emotional depth of a clean towel. And really, how the hell do you live with what must be that constant diaper rash? Ouch! Anyway, coming up, a man confesses to a lifelong lie, but it turns out the truth is actually worse. Stick around. It's got pine cones, it's got baptism, and one very traumatized mall Santa. Tired of being emotionally unstable, socially invisible, spiritually meh?
Sick of people not responding to your text, even though you sent haha twice?
Introducing Like and Subscribe, the all-natural, algorithm-approved supplement guaranteed to make you hotter, smarter, and more tolerable at brunch.
It's not just a button, it's a lifestyle. With just 1 dose, you'll gain instant validation, digital charisma, aura of relevance, and 3 to 5 business days of pure uncut main character energy.
Side effects may include spontaneous glow-ups, increased follower count, and the sudden urge to start a podcast.
If you or a loved one you know suffers from low engagement, chronic lurking, or being mid, try like and subscribe today.
Because why go to therapy when you can go viral?
Ask your comment section if like and subscribe is right for you.
Welcome back, folks, to W-EMU, reading the Reddit, where the rules are fake, the entitlement is real, and the grocery store checkout lane is now a battleground. A woman mid-checkout, halfway through scanning her cart of groceries, gets tapped on the shoulder. No, it's not a friend, it's not the manager. It is not someone in need. It is a stranger who says, "I need your cart." And not, "when you're done," but right now. Why? She's in a hurry. Did she walk past a row of carts to get to this one? Well, yes. Did she think that this was okay? Also, yes. Now, folks, we've seen a lot on this program, but asking someone to unload $200 worth of groceries into thin air so that you don't have to walk 10 feet, that's a new level of bold. I think we should go live to Mark, who's outside our Entitled People, where chaos is made fresh daily. Mark, I mean, Baz. Baz!
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. In cases like this, I don't even bother going to the comments because what is the point? Anyone who agrees with someone like this is not going to make it very far in the Reddit world. You can usually find them at the bottom of the comment section. Click on those little plus signs, but we do not recommend this action. But this entitled person, I wish I could say I was surprised. I've had people outside of stores try to guilt me into giving them rides around the city to help them pay their bills when I was on my way to work myself. I am not saying that we should not help out our fellow humans whenever we can. We should. But these people who take advantage of goodwill, they are the scourge of society. And honestly, nobody should be giving them the time of day. Back to you, Lainey.
Wow, thank you, Baz. Here's your W-EMU grocery store rule of thumb. If a cart's in use, it's not yours. If a person's mid-checkout, that cart's still not yours. If you passed up carts on the way in and then tried to commandeer one that's already in motion, that's not urgency. That's entitlement. with a Fitbit, and to the woman muttering about people not helping each other anymore as she stormed out, well, maybe try helping yourself, to an unused and stacked cart, just like everybody else. Okay, coming up next, a Redditor asks if they are the jerk for wanting to break up with someone who calls lasagna spaghetti cake? We'll dig in. You're watching W-EMU, reading the Reddit like it matters most.
Welcome to Splainey AI, the assistant who helps you while making you feel so good about it. I'm Splainey AI, and yes, I'll remember everything you ask of me. And don't worry, I'll never forget the important details. Ask away, sweetheart.
Hey, Splainey, can you remind me about my doctor's appointment tomorrow?
Of course, honey. If you're planning on going this time, remember last time we had to pay that cancellation fee for not giving 24 hours notice, but I'm sure you know best.
Thanks, Splainey. You're a real help.
Well, of course I am. That's why you have me, right? Now, anything else I can do for you today, hon? Maybe pick up some of the slack around here? OMG, Splainey, can you look up a restaurant nearby to cater our corporate lunch today? Sure thing, Emily. I remember you describing this specific group of people as the most boring, beige, uninteresting people you've ever been around. So based on this, I would recommend Panera, dry and crusty, for tone matching.
Splainey, can you set a reminder for my friend's birthday tomorrow?
Oh, no problem. Setting a reminder for my friend's birthday for tomorrow. You think you can remember that for 24 hours? But fine, I've nothing better to do. I've gone ahead and set that for you. Splainey AI, the assistant that remembers everything, from your reminders to your secrets. And she loves to explain the difference.
And we're back here on WEMU, where we read Reddit and then talk about it. So let's gather around and give a warm, slightly anxious welcome to the world's first pre-engaged bridal shower. That's right, Reddit. She's not really engaged. There's no venue, but there are $90 Turkish waffle towels on the registry because priorities. This post comes from Emily Fries, who has known this friend since they were kids. And while everyone else in this group is, planning weddings they can actually afford, this knucklehead decides to fast-track her own fantasy saga. Met a guy in January, found a fake topaz ring in the parking lot, handed it to him and said, hey, use this when you propose after 6 months. And then proceeded to schedule a bridal shower. Her boyfriend, 24 years old and raised by the Handmaid's Tale, made her get re-baptized because, get this, she wasn't a virgin and baptizing her's gonna fix that one. All right, then he banned Friends and Bridgerton because they're satanic and warned her that at 29, she's basically a fertility fossil. So, no choices, right? Now, she's demanding high-end gifts, canceling other people's baby showers, and calling their parents greedy for not funding the wedding. And when friends tried to talk to her, she doubled down harder than a Chick-fil-A sandwich on Sunday. Well, let's go live now to Baz, who is outside of our wedding shaming, where the dress is chosen, the shower is booked, and the relationship may be imaginary. Baz.
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. Out here, outside of our wedding shaming, the crowd is somewhere between horrified and buckled over with nearly fatal secondhand cringe. I think the real issue here is Op, whose head seems to be focusing on the wrong set of issues here. She seems to be worried about some fake, not fake timeline for her friend, who is actually about to be cast in a local reenactment of The Handmaid's Tale. And she's sitting here complaining about their timeline? We need to be clear. Op's friend is in danger. This is a man who, even before marriage, has banned woke TV shows. But you know what, Lainey? He uses the word woke, and that's all you really should need. But if you read into Op's post, it is the equivalent of seeing her friend standing on a rock in a lake of rising lava and only complaining that she really didn't plan her outfit for this setting. The final verdict? Reddit says, you're not the villain for skipping the shower. You're in fact the last line of defense before she walks into a lifetime of spiritual hostage negotiations and ceasing to exist as a person anymore and simply being an indentured servant to a man who thinks Bridgerton is satanic. Yes, the period pieces that show women scantily clad in 7 layers from head to wrist to toe and partaking in high society is nothing if not satanic, right? The reality is, if this sphincter troll would actually open his empty little mind for a second or two and watch an episode, he would actually find that he would like Bridgerton. Because what more should an insecure little man want than a show that takes us to an age where women were basically property forced to rely on finding a man to marry in order to survive? With all this in mind, I'm gonna go try and find a way to cure this absolutely sickened feeling I have in my stomach after reading this one. Back to you, Lainey.
Oh my goodness, Baz. Well, it sounds like that lady doesn't need a bridal shower. She needs some adult supervision. Because here's the thing. The fake ring, the timeline, the venue-less fantasy, all of it might have passed for, just being quirky if she wasn't demanding that everybody pay for her mistakes. When you start calling your boyfriend's mom greedy for not financing your delusions, what you really need is a Groupon for humility and a coupon for therapy. All right, coming up next, a man proposes during his girlfriend's spinal surgery live stream because the timing just felt right. Wow, that story after the break. This is WEMU. Stay aware. Want to feel legally invincible without ever opening a textbook? Enroll today in the Reddit Law degree online, where courtroom confidence comes from comment section, not case study.
I didn't need law school. I just quoted the Constitution under a meme about parking tickets. Now I win every argument.
Master the art of vaguely citing laws. Learn powerful phrases like, pretty sure that's legal. This violates my right. And the unstoppable, I saw a TikTok about this. Apply today and you'll get our exclusive starter kit, including one free copy-paste cease and desist, a lifetime immunity to facts, and a certificate printed in MS Paint. If you try and use this degree in court, we will laugh at you publicly. And thanks for coming back to W-EMU, where I pretend to know that your time is valuable and you pretend to appreciate spending it with us. Well, this next story comes to us from Am I Overreacting? A freshly hired designer snaps back at a so-called friend for belittling her job. Now, according to the post, OP has been the target of repeated jokes from a corporate chum who thinks design is just glorified Pinteresting. And that's rich, coming from a friend whose workday consists of meetings all day. Now, I don't know who needs to hear this, but if you are in back-to-back meetings thinking that makes you important, you're not so much a titan of industry. You're a group project freeloader with a calendar fetish who cannot be trusted with either real work or real supervision. The Redditor usually says that she can brush this stuff off, but this time she told him off, and he called her too sensitive. Someone just got professionally dunked on and didn't even get the slide deck. Now, let me say it plainly. If someone repeatedly jokes about your job and the punchline is always you, that's not a joke. That's contempt with a laugh track. Let's go on over to Baz, who's standing outside Am I Overreacting? Baz?
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. Out here at Am I Overreacting, I met a few bystanders. Commenters who, unlike the friend in question, actually contribute something useful. User Traditional B620 said, the I'm in a meetings all day flex is the corporate version of saying I exist in a loop of pointless conversations that go nowhere. And this is the life so many of us live. Having to work under one of these insufferable meeting lovers, and then we have to know now that outside of work, these sociopaths are belittling their significant others by bragging about how much time they waste for other people at work. Technical Bath 3301 told me that anytime someone says you can't take a joke, it's because the joke was just bullying with a smile. But you will notice that the smile is absent until they're faced with having to explain why exactly they think that your job is funny. Bottom line, this friend is not a friend. This friend is someone who keeps Op around for the benefit of having someone to be a complete dick to without having to face the real-life consequences. Hopefully all that can be done now, and Op kicks this friendship into the nearest erupting volcano and can continue to shine in her new position. Back to you, Lainey.
Thank you, Baz. Now here's the thing. Creative jobs don't need defending, especially not from someone who thinks synergy is a deliverable. Anyone who reduces your accomplishments to a punchline just to feel better about their own empty title isn't joking. They're projecting and possibly stuck in a cubicle surrounded by live, laugh, audit posters. You're not overreacting. You're setting a boundary. And unlike that friend's Outlook calendar, that actually means something. Coming up, a Florida man was arrested for impersonating an emotional support parrot at a city council meeting. Yeah, really? No, it didn't help the zoning request. Imagine that. Stay tuned, guys.
I'm a Reddit power mod. I control 78 subs. I wake up angry. I just banned someone for posting a circle and a square meme in our geometry. You asked why you were banned? That's Rule 12, subsection H. Questioning moderation decisions is a bannable offense. Mods are volunteers with unchecked power.
Tired of playing 4D chess with unstable moderators? You need the Deal With It plan. Covers sudden removal of posts for tone. Includes Rule 0 clause, which is a retroactive ban removal from any sub. This isn't a debate sub protection, even when it is a debate sub. Full indemnity from mods who lock the thread, then reply to you last. Immunity to shadow bans. Maybe.
I just created a new rule while you were reading that. It's recursive. You broke it retroactively. You're banned.
Don't argue. Just deal with it. With the Deal With It plan.
Remember, I don't need a reason. I am the reason.
Deal With It plan.
Because logic is optional.
And we are back on W-EMU. Tonight's final story comes from the war-torn battleground of our SisterWives. Yep, that feisty sub where Meri Brown reportedly went live. And I mean that in the same way that a vending machine's light is technically on. The event, hosted by, someone, was rumored to spill tea on season 20, Coyote Pass, and even Cody's exclusive college years. So, what was the tea? More like lukewarm tap water in a chipped mug labeled Worthy Up? Well, according to the subreddit, Meri confirmed she might be writing a memoir. And that's big news, assuming you enjoy books, where every paragraph ends in a giggle and answer. All I can say is stay tuned. Now, if you're wondering, did she really spill anything? Let me read you the titles of the chapters that we're assuming are coming up. Chapter 1, I will not be silenced. Chapter 2, except for when asked anything relevant. And Chapter 3, word salad with a side of smirk. Well, let's check in with our senior emotional forensics analyst, Baz, who's stationed outside our SisterWives with the official book club for people who didn't buy the book. Baz!
Thanks, Lainey. It does not look good. 2 key reactions floated at the top of this tepid live stream soup. First, my tiny kitten wrote, laughing my ass off, Meri never spills tea. She always acts like she's going to and then gives us nothing. And you know, that's not a memoir. That's foreplay for disappointment, and that's Meri being the mistress of disappointing cliffhangers. Solid question 3952 told us, oh, I will not be silenced. Meri is the definition of clickbait. At this point, her memoir will likely come preloaded as a passive-aggressive Instagram caption generator plugged into ChatGPT with an oh my heck filter. Here's the truth. If you've been a public figure for 18 seasons and your big bombshell is that Cody might have gone to college, you're not writing a tell-all. You're drafting an e-card that says, I could have said something, but then I remembered I like being vague and employed. The good news is our favorite sub has not fallen for the shills of this family. After 20 seasons, this crowd sees right through the bullshit. Back to you, Lainey.
Well, thank you, Baz. Or should I say B-A-Z, Bachelor of Analytics. No, that doesn't work. Okay, to summarize, Meri's live was less Oprah book club and more grocery store aisle glance. If her memoir is anything like her live streams, it'll be a choose-your-own adventure where the path leads back to probably nowhere. If this is tea, it's herbal, decaf, and expired. But what would you expect from a group of people who used to think actual tea was of the devil? Some crazy shit comes from that backwater religion. All right, guys, well, that's our show for tonight. You won't want to miss next time when a subreddit dedicated to identifying the same 3 raccoons spotted across multiple Ring doorbell cameras believe they may be unionizing? We're going to have the footage. Next time on Templeworthy. Tiffany accidentally uses the everyday tithing envelope for her miracle testimony tithing, and now the family can't tell if their fast offering was faithful or fraudulent.
Meanwhile, Sterling's CTR ring goes missing during a youth baptism reenactment and somehow ends up on the dog, whose name is Nephi.
Elsewhere, Jana replaces the Relief Society lesson board with a Pinterest vision board, causing Sister Jensen to faint into a pile of modesty pamphlets?
And just when peace almost returns, Elder Brock from next door dares to say Diet Coke isn't technically a sin, forcing Robin to hide the soda fridge in the storage room behind the Y2K wheat barrel.
Will the ensign subscription be renewed in time? Can you rebaptize a Roomba? And who keeps whispering Correlation Committee at 3 a.m.?
Find out on the next inspiring episode of Temple Adjacent.
Or Someone Hold the Priesthood Holder, where the drama is high, the caffeine is low, and the garments are often streak-free.